This is a question that has plagued the metal community and probably other music communities for a long time, and I, a drummer and cat player, will unveil the 4 reasons why live shows don't sound like the studio recording. Hello and welcome to my channel. Now the first reason is comfort. When you're putting up a live show, well, you're putting up a show, which means you are making faces, you're moving around, you're jumping, you're running around, and you're basically hurting your comfort. For example, if you're a guitar player, you're probably not playing in your most comfortable position. Maybe you are even doing backing vocals, which adds a layer of coordination. And if you're a drummer, your drums are probably not set up the way you usually play them.
Yeah, dude. Of course we have a house kit. It's all ready for you.
Also, you're probably worried about all the extras that make your show your show.
It's fucking Twister time! Oh shit! Look what it landed on! The actual wall of death!
The second reason is more technical. So now we are going behind the scenes.
What the fuck?
Now it is rare, not impossible, but rare that the sound for the audience will sound bad. But the monitors, the sound that the musicians hear, that whole communication thing that you have to do can go off the rails pretty easily. Recently, I had the worst experience possible with monitoring and also the worst experience of preparing a night ever. So if you want to check that out, subscribe if it's not out, and if not, top right corner. But basically, bad monitoring means that every musician is guessing and trusting that the other person is doing what they're supposed to, and they are also guessing and trusting that they are doing what they're supposed to. So you can pretty much connect the dots on why it's a bad thing. Third reason, and this is mostly about metal, because metal is about pushing the boundaries with what musicians can do with their wood and metal. This means that sometimes to achieve certain sounds, there's changes in the technique that they're using, and that requires multiple takes in maybe a span of a few seconds to pull off the sound that you are listening in the studio recording. DragonForce is a big example of this. They use lots of harmonics and different techniques in their guitar solos, and pulling them off one after the other in live shows in one take, because a live show is one take, it's practically impossible. And in the recordings you can hear all the cuts that they do when they paste everything together. And hopefully you can hear them out here. I'll try to make them as obvious as possible. And I use DragonForce as an example because they suffered a lot back in the day because of this, but every band does it. Here are some examples of drum parts that are cut in Dream Theater songs. All of this with the purpose of getting the best take and the best music possible. It's not because they just cannot play the thing. It's because when you're doing the recording for the studio, you want it as perfect as it can be. That's just the reason that it is.
I think a better way to say what I was trying to say is that when you're recording, you're trying to get as close to your original idea as possible. So there might be more instruments that there are in the band, and maybe like 3 guitars instead of 2 or 1, and overdubs in the drums and stuff like that. That's basically what I was trying to say.
And the fourth reason is the most simple one. The people playing are humans, and you don't wake up every day feeling the same way. And most musicians can tell you that some days they play things that even they can't believe they are actually pulling off, that they are actually playing. And some days they just can't even play, I don't know, La Cucaracha. So here's my tip for musicians. Enjoy the errors, the way you get around them, the way you still put up a show despite anything that can happen, because that is what makes often the most memorable and admirable parts of the show. I've had people tell me that they went up to shows and they played everything perfectly. Chef kiss, you may say. But they got bored. They say that if they knew it was going to be that way, they would have stayed in their home and listened to this D, because it's just the same thing. And for the audience, the fans, enjoy the mistakes. That's what makes a live show a live show. That's what makes it fun, special. And that's the randomness of life, and only you and a couple hundred or a couple thousand or a couple people experience it, and it's unique. And it's never going to happen again. Of course, when I'm talking about errors, I'm talking about, you know, oh my god, he missed a note. It's not when the people get so drunk that they can do shit. That's basically a ripoff. So I'm not defending that. I'm defending the da 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 da. I don't know. Thank you for watching.